Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of Youth with Rosie and Brad. It's so good to have you with us. It's been a really interesting week with stuff going on online and everything. So Rosie's just going to explain a bit of what we're going to look at this week.
So today we're going to have a little look at the media and how we can set a good example of being Christians and just treating people and loving people online, whether that's through texting people or whether that's through stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever social media you have. We're just going to have a little look at how we can set a good example.
The reason we're doing this is because of everything that's been going off after the interview of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after they were interviewed by Oprah last week, and it's been really challenging. There's been so many different responses, and it doesn't really matter, we don't think, what side of the story you necessarily sit on, but it's about how you respond, and if it's, dragging Harry and Meghan down, then that's maybe not a good response. It's about showing love to one another. But I think in our lifetime, we've seen so many experiences of the media destroying people's lives, and whether that's at a local level, so whether it's your friends, things such as cyberbullying and issues like that, that's like at a local level, and people are really affected by stuff like that. And then you've got national and international levels where you've got like the British press who are doing their best to go after and destroy celebrities' lives, and it's tiring.
Yeah, I think, and we can see it so often as well in schools and among friends. So for example, you might have somebody at school that does YouTube videos, and people will put negative comments on, dislike, say loads of inappropriate and nasty things. The same with Facebook, with pictures, commenting on people's Instagrams, and just really bringing people down. It's just a really unnecessary way to treat people, and we need to really think about how we approach this, because we live in a time where technology is such a huge part of our life, and every single person nearly these days has a phone and has social media. So we really need to have a look at what we're doing online and have a look at how we treat other people.
And I think going from that is some experiences of our own, and I can think of one where I was maybe in year 10 or 11, probably year 11, and I got added into this group chat. I didn't really know what was going on, and it was me and two other lads, and they decided that they were going to make a rumour up about this girl, but only tell this girl about it and no one else. And I didn't see it, I didn't know what was going on, but this girl saw the messages somehow, and she texted me. She's like, "I can't believe you, like, I thought we was really good friends, why are you saying this stuff about me?" And I had no idea what she was on about because I hadn't seen it, but I was mortified. What I could have done after I'd seen these messages in this chat, I should have called these people out for it. I should have said, actually, this isn't right, you shouldn't be doing this, and whatever. But I was too scared. I was too scared to get involved. And I mean, fortunately, it all got snuffed out, and it died as quick as it came to life. But that could have done some damage to someone, and I was a bystander, and I've got to be better than that. And I challenge myself now to speak out against injustices that I see online and social media. And it is hard, it doesn't come easy to me because I don't particularly like confrontation, but actually, it's something that I believe God would want us to do, is to stand. He says to stand up for the oppressed. Jesus says that he's here to set the oppressed free, and we've got to be that presence in person as well as online.
Yeah, and we've seen it a lot as well on Facebook with people who might have posted pictures or videos or opinions about stuff, and in the comments you just see some horrific things. People just being abusive, people being rude, people sharing stuff and spreading stuff that is just not true, and it can cause some serious damage to people, because I think it is really important that we remember that we don't understand what people are going through, and if we are part of the problem, if we're part of spreading these rumours and putting negative comments on things, then we are part of ruining someone's life and part of making them feel really, really bad, really down. And it's just terrifying how people respond to that, and we don't want to be part of this problem, and we don't want you guys to be pulled into this or accidentally part of this problem. We want you to recognise when you need to step back, when we need to step back on social media, and just stand up for people, or just not get involved in stuff like we should be doing.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to lead us on to a bit of just looking at what the Bible says. Obviously, the Bible was written in a time before social media had any form of influence on the world, because it didn't exist. But the Bible always can talk into a situation. So we're looking at 2 scriptures today that are about being a good influence to other people. And this verse I'm going to read from 1 Timothy is really interesting, because Paul, the writer of this letter to Timothy, now Timothy is really young. He's a very young leader in the church, and I think that is something we can all relate to. You know, we're young in church, but we still have an influence, because he says in 1 Timothy 4 verse 12, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." See, Paul is telling Timothy that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can set an example. And you can set an example in all these amazing things, in love and in faith, and being pure with one another. And that is something that is so important, and God is still wanting his followers to do that today. His young followers, he's saying, like, you can set an example. Don't let anyone look down on you just because you're young, but instead set an example to these people in love, set an example in faith, and set an example in purity, and just watch the amazing things that can happen. So yeah, I really want to encourage you with that. But it doesn't matter how old you are, God says don't let anyone despise you because you're young, but set an example, because you can do that.
I'm just going to have a quick look at Titus 2 verses 6 to 7, which says, "Similarly, encourage the young men to be self-controlled. In everything, set them an example by doing what is good." So how it says young men and women. So set an example that you are self-controlled. So it might be on social media and someone starts posting stuff inappropriate, tagging you in it. Maybe in like Brad's situation, he got put into something that he didn't know he was in, but it was harmful. And it says show people that you are self-controlled. So don't just get involved with it because you're there and because it's happening, but either stand up for what's wrong, or use self-control to not say anything at all. Like, we need to show people around us how to use control and how not to just say harmful things and get involved in situations that are just not needed to be involved in. And then it goes on to say, in everything set them an example by doing what is good. And again, it's you being the example. If people are being rude and inappropriate online, you can be the example and not do that. And people might think, oh wait, why aren't they doing that? And maybe it's wrong, maybe they don't agree with it. And that way you are setting an example and showing people that you are better than what that behaviour is, that you are, that you don't agree with it, that you don't stand up for it or endorse it. And it is just setting that Christian and loving example, like Jesus would have set an example.
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard being I was going to say a young person, but it's just hard being a person in today's world, because it's so easy for people to comment on everything that's going on in our lives and other people's lives. And to be fair, I think the majority of social media at a local level tends to be quite encouraging. People tend to try and encourage people and say, wow, you're doing such a great job, it's really great news to hear about this, really great news to hear about that. And that's really encouraging, but it's these small niggles. It's this person who takes a screenshot of it and then sends it to a group chat and be like, oh, have you seen this and have you seen that? And it's sad. And we just want to encourage you to step out and be the difference in that situation.
Great.
Yeah.
Shall we pray?
Yeah, I think we should.
Do you want me to pray?
Yeah, go on
Dear Lord, thank you so much that we have your word to be an example. that we can read it and we can act how we're told to, and that we can be the better people in our society so people can see you through us. Lord, help us this next coming weeks, to really stand up for each other and stand up for what we believe in, Lord. Let us not get pulled into situations that are unnecessary, but if we do, let us be the example in that situation, and let us shine your light in every single thing we do. Amen.
So thanks for listening, guys. I hope that you felt encouraged by this. It's not an easy video to talk about because these issues are very real and they're happening all the time, and know that we're here to encourage you, and I hope that this does encourage you to be a better influence online. Have a great week, and we shall see you very soon.